Are you addicted to sugar? As you read this report, do you start thinking about ways to get around the 90-gram maximum of sugar that you can have each day? Note that the 90 grams of sugar, per UK government guidelines, you can consume per day has nothing to do with how many carbohydrates you eat each day. This is a separate number that you should be tracking. Here are some common behaviors that predict sugar addiction. You eat too much. If there are some foods that you just can't stop eating, assume they're likely high in sugar. Sugar doesn't really make you satiated, so it's hard to stop. This is made worse if sugar is combined with sodium and fat. For example, you may be eating donuts which are also high in salt and fat, but would you really eat them without the sugar? Doubtful. You crave processed carbohydrates. If you're often craving refined carbs like chips, crackers, and bread, then you may just have a problem with sugar. Often, eliminating added sugars can reduce cravings that you're having for high processed carbs over time. You crave salty foods. With processed foods, salt and sugar go together very well. If you feel like you could lick a salt lick and be happy, you may be addicted to sugar. Look at the amount of sugar in the snacks you normally eat. If they're highly processed, you can bet they have too much added sugar. You crave meat. This might seem strange, but if you crave meat when you really don't need it and aren't really that hungry, you may really be craving the spices that are often on meat, such as wing sauce, which is very high in sugar. Every meal is high in sugar. Is your typical meal higher in sugar than it should be? Keep in mind that the maximum of 90 grams is a maximum. It doesn't mean you need to eat that much sugar. If you feel bad and aren't healthy, you can always cut that amount down. The best way to do that is avoid added sugars and only eat sugar that is naturally in plants. You get moody without sugar. If you find that you are often feeling grumpy and moody, the problem might be sugar. If you often suffer dips and rises in blood sugar, when you have a dip you will suffer from grumpy moods. This can be exacerbated by eating sugary things like candy, which will provide a fast jump and a quick fall. You feel powerless over sugar. Do you ever feel like you don't even want to eat that sugary snack, but you do it anyway because you know it'll make you feel better? This is common in people who work long days, students especially. It's true that eating a sugary snack will help temporarily, but you'd do far better eating a fruit snack with only natural sugars and fiber to help slow down the sugar absorption. You start and end your day with sugar. Look at your entire day. What do you eat in the morning? What do you eat before bed? What is the first and last thing you eat each day? If you're eating sugar in the morning and at night, especially added processed sugar and not sugar in whole plants, then that is a sign that you may have an addiction to sugar. You suffer a 3 p.m. slump. If you work in an office, you'll notice this a lot more than if you're retired or work from home. But pay attention if somewhere after lunch you start falling asleep while you're working or feel as if you need a nap. Look at your diet. Are you giving yourself energy for lunch, or are you setting yourself up for a sugar crash? If you are going through any of these issues, it is wise to calculate how much sugar you're eating in any given day. Most people eat double the sugar maximum of 90 grams a day due to added and processed sugars, including hidden sugars. Tips for breaking your sugar habit. Thankfully, you don't need to work that hard to break your sugar addiction. It's only hard if you shoot for zero sugar. That would not be healthy. Instead, first just shoot for a reduction, and then cut it back more and more through solid food choices. Avoid processed food. The biggest culprit when it comes to sugar in food is processed food. Processed food has tons of sugar, and if it doesn't, it has tons of chemicals. Avoiding processed food can eliminate almost all of the added sugar you're eating. Get plenty of sunshine. It might seem weird, but one reason people like to eat sugar is serotonin, the feel-good hormone. When you eat a lot of sugar, you'll get a spike in serotonin. Of course, you also get a crash. There are better ways to increase serotonin levels. One is the sunshine. Of course, you'll also get vitamin D, which can also improve your mood. Get plenty of sleep. If you have trouble sleeping at night, then you need to get to the root cause of why. Avoid sugars, caffeine, and anything stimulating 2 to 3 hours before bed. You should go to sleep on an empty stomach for the best sleep. Drink enough water. Staying hydrated is important to avoid any type of cravings, including sugar cravings. When you're born, you have a perfect thirst detector. But life often causes us to deny our body's signals. Therefore, measure your water to ensure that you're drinking a minimum of 64 ounces to 100 ounces of water a day, depending upon your weight. Focus on stability. You want to try to keep your sugar balanced. One way to do that is to have regular meal times. For you, that may be 6 meals a day. For others, then will end up being the traditional 3 meals a day. It depends on what works best for you. You should eat when you feel real hunger pangs. Eat your greens. For some reason, when you eat more greens like turnip greens, spinach, kale and so forth, your sweet cravings will go away. So, instead of eating something sweet when you get the craving, try eating a bowl of steamed spinach with good red wine vinegar on it and your cravings will disappear. Incorporate fermented foods and drinks. Not only are they good to help keep your stomach acid and bacteria balanced, fermented foods and drinks are also great sweet tooth killers. You can buy prepared fermented foods or make your own. Keep in mind a very small amount of sugar is used in fermentation, but that is okay. Meditate. Sometimes sugar cravings are just a sign that you need to slow down and center yourself. Stress can play a huge part in appetite and cravings. Take the time to meditate, at least 10 minutes per day. If you don't want to meditate, prayer or sitting silently also works. Incorporating these tips into your day can make a huge difference when you're trying to end sugar cravings and break your sugar habit. Remember that it's not going to happen overnight either. Just focus on adding in good things to your life rather than on what you're eliminating. How to fight sugar addiction withdrawal symptoms. When you first embark on eliminating added sugar from your diet, you're going to experience some withdrawal symptoms, especially if some of your sugary treats included caffeine. You don't want to use a bunch of fake things to sub for sugar, so it's best to try to get over each symptom you have. Depression. If you notice after giving up added sugar you're feeling depressed, ensure that you are eating some natural sugars like those found in fruit and veggies. You don't want to have zero carbohydrates. Carbohydrates make you feel good. Just eat them without added sugar, oil and fat. A headache. This is more than likely caused from drinking less caffeine. But, if you do find that you're getting headaches, check your hydration. If you were used to sugary drinks, it can be hard to drink plain water. But, it's imperative that you drink enough each day. Anxiety. Anxiety manifests itself in many ways to different people. Some people get a fluttery feeling in their stomach. Others experience shortness of breath or heart palpitations. It can be very severe in some people. If you find that you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, the best thing to do is go to your doctor for a blood test. Some illnesses like hypothyroid, which has nothing to do with sugar restriction, can cause anxiety. Otherwise, just check your hydration level, sleep level, and ensure that you're eating enough calories for your ideal weight. Irritable mood. Feeling moody. When your blood sugar gets too low you can feel moody. This can be remedied by eating more often. Try to balance your meals with the right amounts of protein, fat, and carbohydrates for your personal needs. Don't allow yourself to get too hungry. This is a surefire way to end up feeling moody. Keep healthy snacks around like apples and no sugar-added peanut butter. Fatigue. Still feeling that 3 p.m. slump? Feeling tired and foggy all the time? This is a sign that you're not eating enough carbohydrates. Remember that veggies are good carbs and you should eat them in plentiful amounts. It can also mean that you need to drink more water. Achy muscles. This is one of the first signs of dehydration. A lot of people who used to drink sugary drinks for most of their hydration find it difficult to get enough water. Drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. For snacks, eat hydrating food like apples, carrots, oranges and other fresh fruit and veggies. Cravings. When you notice you're getting super strong sugar cravings, it's time to look at your list of things to do during cravings. You can still eat something sweet, but instead of candy or processed food, pick something fresh like a bowl of berries or sliced apples. The symptoms of sugar withdrawal are more difficult for some people than others. Be patient with yourself. If you cave in and eat processed sugar, drink extra water, move more, and be prepared next time with a healthy snack. Don't forget to try the greens and vinegar. Recipe ideas to keep your sugar cravings at bay. One way to avoid eating too much sugar is to be ready. If you're prepared with food to eat when you have a craving, when you're feeling tired, and when you're hungry, you'll do a lot better sticking to your goals. Frozen fruit dessert. This isn't as much of a recipe as an idea. You can use your food processor, high-speed blender, magic bullet or a gadget like the Yonana frozen healthy dessert maker. All you do is freeze the fruit you want to use for a while, then feed it through the Yonana or blend it in one of the blenders or the food processor. It's simple and tastes wonderful. Tip: use the ripest fruit you can for the sweetest flavor. Snacks. The best snacks have a good balance of fat and protein. These low-sugar snack ideas will help you if you miss sugar at all. Apples and peanut butter. Skip the bread and just slice up an apple, then spread it with sugar-free peanut butter. The best peanut butter has one ingredient: peanuts. The fiber in the apple makes the sugar digest slowly. The fat and protein in the peanut butter keep you satiated. Fiber-rich loaf. Everyone likes bread, but it can pack a huge sugar punch. But you can make your own fiber-rich bread that is low in sugar and healthy for you. No sugar fiber loaf. 1 cup hulled, salt-free raw pumpkin seeds, 1/2 cup hemp seeds, 1/2 cup raw peeled almonds, 1.5 cup rolled oats, 2 tablespoons chia seeds, 3 tablespoons psyllium husk powder, 1 teaspoon fine-grained sea salt, 1 tablespoon honey, 3 tablespoons apple sauce, 1.5 cup water. Combine all dry ingredients. Set aside. Combine all wet ingredients in a separate bowl. Then pour the wet ingredients into the dry. Mix until it forms a thick dough. If you notice that it's too dry, you can add more water. Form into a dough and put into a prepared bread pan. You can prepare your bread pan with some oil spread on with a paper towel, or you can line the pan with parchment paper. Cover pan and dough with a towel and let sit in a warm place for at least 2 hours. When the dough has risen enough, you'll know because it keeps its shape when you touch it lightly with your finger. Bake in a 350-degree F oven on the middle rack for about 30 to 40 minutes. Done bread will sound hollow when thumped. Fermented veggies. Let's make this simple. You can chop a bunch of veggies, or you can go to the fresh section of your grocery and buy pre-chopped veggies in bags, or from the salad bar. It's up to you how you do it. But you'll want to chop them smaller anyway. Probably 1/2-inch pieces will work best. In addition, you need some glass jars with sealable lids, such as canning jars. Chop a mixture of veggies that you enjoy. Include at least a couple of apples or carrots due to the sweet flavor they provide. Add some ginger too if you like the flavor. Sprinkle all with salt. Fill each jar with your mixture of chopped veggies tightly. Leave 1 inch of space from the top. Smash the veggies into the jar. You want them very tight. Then into each filled jar, put the following mixture into the jar until it's 1 inch below the top. Brine. 4 cups water, 1 tablespoon sea salt. Mix until the salt is totally dissolved. Ensure that the veggie mixture always stays under the water in the jar. If you need to, weight the mixture down with a stone or weight. Cover with some cheesecloth and a rubber band. Keep in a warm spot for 3 to 5 days. Check the mixture daily to ensure that everything stays under the brine. You'll know when your fermented veggies are done when your veggies are bubbling. That shows that the fermenting process has completed. Your veggies should also smell a little sour, but you should like the smell. They should also taste good. After that has happened, put the normal lids the jars on and put in the fridge. What now? If you really want to rid yourself of sugar cravings, lose weight and get healthier, a good way to do it is to avoid added sugars. Remember, sugar that is found naturally in plants that you eat is usually okay, although you should try to limit super sweet fruit like dried fruits and dates. Take it one day at a time. Focus on eating until you're satisfied and not stuffed whenever you're hungry. Get enough hydration, exercise, and sunshine and you'll kick that sugar habit to the curb in no time.